This old black and white video clip shows a steel rolling mill in the 1930s. This mill employed over 3,000 workers because in those days the work was very labor intensive. The technology was simple and the working conditions primitive. Have you noticed the lack of protective gear for the workers? Here is a modern steelmaking plant in the 21st century. Operated by computers, a modern electric arc furnace is designed for efficient melting of raw materials, usually metal scraps. In an electric arc furnace, heat is provided by the electric current, also called the electric arc, generated between the charged raw materials and the carbon electrodes placed above the surface of the raw materials. Modern steelmaking involves a study of the chemistry of steel. This helps to reduce energy consumption and minimize yield loss. From a ladle furnace used to maintain the temperature of liquid steel, steel is transferred to this continuous casting machine. This highly sophisticated equipment allows each day production of almost 200 different grades of steels for different purposes. The molten steel is transferred to the fully computerized rolling mills, where steel will be cooled and shaped into desirable forms such as coils of metal sheets, rod wire, etc. Have you noted that the foundry operations in the 30s are far more labor intensive? While technology helps us improve productivity, job loss due to automation is a concern. Heavy hydraulic and pneumatic equipment are used in modern foundries. Here are some examples. The tongs that slab haulers use to lift piles of steel slabs move hydraulically. Hydraulics and pneumatics are involved in every step of the steel production process. The thickness of this hot steel strip is reduced by going through a series of strands containing rolls that apply varying amounts of pressure to the strip. Notice that the roll position is controlled hydraulically. Observe further that when the hot steel is coiled, hydraulic and pneumatic systems control the mandrel cylinder of the coiler, plus the coil car and the walking beams that move the coil toward the delivery section. The mandrel expands to keep the coil tight and contracts to release the coil. Again, a Debander robot's cutting head and robotic arm are controlled by hydraulic and pneumatic systems. The developments of hydraulics and pneumatics have made an incredible impact in almost all industries. In the early days, manual labor was the only available way to build. This process was slow and hard on the workers. Now, heavy hydraulic machines can reduce the time for construction, reduce the need for manual labor, and increase productivity. However, there are almost always negative effects in technological innovations. The removal of used hydraulic fluid is an example. What are the other positive and negative effects of hydraulic machines?